Hey guys, welcome back to Midwest Woods and Water. I got something cool for you today. I have a drone with me today, and I'm going to map my hunting property with it. It's not just any drone. This thing is a DJI M300, and I have what's called a LiDAR sensor. If you know what LiDAR is, it's a sensor that shoots lasers down, and it bounces off the ground, and it comes back and then measures that distance, and it gives me elevations on the ground. So I'm basically going to map my whole property and get a topographic map with it. So I'll take you guys inside and I'll show it to you. All right, here is the drone. Comes in 3 boxes here. This is the main box that has the drone in it itself. This medium-sized box, that is the battery pack. So there's 3 sets of batteries in there for the drone itself, and then I have 3 sets of batteries for the controller. And this box right here is the LiDAR sensor. It's a LiDAR sensor and camera, so it's both. But I'm gonna open this up, unbox it, and put it together and let you guys check it out. All right, let's open this up. Backwards. So this is the drone right here. Put it together. And this is the LiDAR sensor. This is the controller. Got a built-in screen on it. And lanyard to hold it. And here's your battery case. It might take all 3 sets of batteries to fly this. It's a little windy out today and it's a little cold, so your performance isn't as good on those kind of days, but we're gonna give it a try. So this is an RTK drone. What that means is it gets real-time corrections from the state-run GPS network here, and it makes it basically super accurate. I've also got control points on the ground. I'll show you guys a picture of that. They're black and white aerial targets, and then I'll have one of my coworkers come back and shoot those in for me with the GPS. And then I can basically take my whole point cloud and I can adjust it and move it to match those coordinates. I've already got my flights pre-planned here. Show you guys some of these settings in case you're ever doing this yourself and you want to know how, or you're trying to learn. Basically, you come in here and you select what type of camera you're using. So this is a Zenmuse L1 LiDAR. And then you set your altitude that you're going to fly at. Right here, I'm at 210 feet above ground level. Your takeoff speed, that's basically how fast it moves to your start point. This speed here at 11 is how fast it flies this route. Your course angle is the angle of these lines. based on like due north. So it's almost flying due north and south. Then you come in here to your payload settings. Return mode is on triple, so that means it's going to be able to shoot down through the tree canopy, and it'll have 3 returns, so it's got a better chance of actually getting to the ground and getting you a good elevation shot on the ground. Your scanning mode, I'm setting that to non-repetitive, so your choices are non-repetitive or repetitive. Non-repetitive, it scans like in a flower pattern almost, like going around in circles. Have you ever seen like a spirograph? That's kind of what it looks like. And that's good for doing woods and stuff like that. If you had like a big open area, you could just do repetitive and it'll scan back and forth in a line. But we're gonna leave it on non-repetitive. And then we're gonna save that. And we're gonna go outside and we're gonna fly. All right, hopefully you guys can hear me out here. It's a little windy. I got a new microphone, so I hope it's working. But this thing's ready, it's warmed up, it's ready to go. I'm gonna take off here and let it do its thing.
Moving to start point.
So it's going to go up to the altitude I told it to, which is 210 feet. And then it's going to go to the start point. It's going to do a quick calibration. It has to calibrate the IMU inside the LiDAR sensor. And then it'll start. So there it goes. It's going to its start point now. Wish it was a little less windy today. I got
high wind velocity.
15-mile-an-hour winds.
Caution. Arrived at start point. Starting task.
So now it's calibrating. You're gonna, I don't know if you could see it, but it's basically just flies back and forth for probably 4 times, and then it'll start collecting data. All right, here it goes. So it's gonna fly that flight path here. And while it's doing that, I'll show you the LiDAR. There's the point cloud that it's collecting. I don't know if you guys can see that at all.
High wind velocity.
All right, guys, this thing is done.
Fly with caution.
And it's coming back here to land.
High wind velocity. Fly with caution.
So now the easy part's done. What I gotta do now is I gotta take that point cloud file that LiDAR sensor created, go back to the office and basically go in there and refine that and extract the ground out of that. You basically get rid of all the trees and vegetation and everything. And I'll show you guys how that works. Okay, so this is the point cloud before it gets refined. That stuff you see on the top there, that's snow, because it was snowing the day we went out there and flew it. You can zoom around here and look at everything. It shows you, you'll see all the trees, all the vegetation, buildings, power lines. This is just a little overview here. Scroll around over here. This is the area by the pond. You can see, you can kind of zoom into the woods. It gets a little hard to tell what's going on in there. I mean, you can see trees lying on the ground. It's that sensitive. It can cut through the trees and the canopy and get all the way down to the ground. If I turn on returns, you can see there's red, green, and blue. So the red is like the third return, so that's the furthest it's getting down. Blue is on top. That's usually your first return. Turn on the height filter. And this is just kind of this is the area here. This is a CRP field. Kind of comes in looking cool. Scroll around here. But once we get done with this, what I do is I take it to another program, and I can filter out all the trees and vegetation, poles, buildings, things like that, and I can get just the ground to show, so we don't have to try and look through all these trees. This area right here, this is a gas main that they came through and cleared this, and I'm actually planting a food plot on it now. You can kind of see right through it here. Just kind of looking around, seeing what we got. I'll show you the, here's like over by my barn. This is where we took off from. Another CRP field there. You can see the power lines that came in pretty good. Here's the pond. You can see like the pond is missing some data there, and that's because the water will absorb the laser from the LiDAR and it doesn't reflect back. You can see part of it shows real well. It's because it had ice on it. And this is the ground. So I've gone in and I've filtered out all the trees and buildings and everything else, and I'm left with just the ground. You can see the contours. There's a little creek area here. Change this theme. So this is an elevation theme. So the blues are high and the reds are low. It just kind of helps you visualize it. This is over by that gas main. You can see how this could be pretty useful for you for your hunting property. If you wanted to get a real detailed map of what you have, if you wanted to plan out, you know, habitat improvements, this could be a big help. I got another filter here I'll show you. This shows the slope. So green and yellow are steep slopes and red is flat. So if you were wanting to know where all the slopes on your property were, you just hit this filter and they really pop out. You can see them real easy. Go over here by this gas main again. You can see I got a real steep slope there. So what do you do with this? Well, I take it into another program called Civil 3D and I can make a topographic map out of it. I'll show you that next. This is what that looks like. So this would be like a paper map that you could print out. I got the boundary lines on here. I've got the aerial in the background. You can zoom in and out here. You can see the contours. So the contours show up real easy on this. I haven't labeled the contours yet, but I can do that later. I can just put, you know, the actual contour elevations on there. Here's a creek running through. I just drew that in by hand, just off the aerial. Another one over here. This is that gas main area here. Well, this would be good for, I mean, you could print this out on paper. This prints out on 24 by 36 inch paper. And you could do, you know, you could do habitat planning and stuff like that. You can draw right on it. I've got a couple of these that I've printed out. And me and a buddy just start drawing and making notes on it about things we want to do and what we want to change. But that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Let me know if you got any questions. Drop them in the comments there. I'll try and answer them if I can. If this is something you might be interested in for your place, let me know. Drop a comment. I might be able to work something out with you. So just get at me. But thanks again for watching, guys, and I'll see you on the next one.